No one ever thought anything would happen to the towers. And so, but as I'm driving, I come across the 59th Street Bridge, and at that time, I was like, okay, something's wrong because the traffic was just crazier than normal, and the traffic going in was at a standstill. So at first, I'm like, damn, this is crazy. And suddenly, I see all these fire engines. Oh, police, everything's just running. And it's just like, whoa, what's going on? I don't know if I actually heard a plane or saw a plane, but there was like, the second plane, people don't know the second plane made a turn. So if you were on the east side of Manhattan, you would like, oh, this plane's really low. So because it came around, and I don't know if I heard it or whatever, but you felt a reverb, even as far as 86th Street. Now I'm on 86th Street, and there was a like a, but it's almost like everyone just stopped, and everyone just went like this, and that's exactly the way it looked like. Everyone stopped, you know. Second Avenue at that time, Third Avenue, it's shopping. People are moving. Everyone's on the radio. Cars in the street stopped. Taxi cab stopped. Traffic stopped. The lights went dead. So all the lights, traffic lights went dead. So at that point, everyone's getting out of the buses, and they're just going like, what the? So you can't, you have to move from that point to look down. So you have to come from Second Avenue, you have to come up to like, to get a good vantage point of the towers from there, because you're up on a hill, but you can't see from there. So you have to go to a vantage point. At that point, that's when I said, oh my God, because you saw it. You saw the first tower, and I didn't know how bad it was. And then I saw the second tower. And that's when I was like, oh my God, this is crazy. So the first thing I did, I tried to call home. Couldn't call home. Phones were dead. People don't know that your cell phone went dead because the major cell tower was on the towers. So cell phones went dead. Landlines also went dead. So try to get to a payphone. Can't use a payphone. Can't use television stations. News just went, unless of course it was a direct feed. So the news was dead. So at that point, we're just shut off. Like, so you get anxiety. I got anxiety because we're thinking like, you grow up with this idea that New York is going to be the first place to get the atom bomb. Everything stopped, and people's face like yours, who were just like, just normal, was like this. That's when everyone knew that this was deliberate. That's when it hit home. When I realized, oh my God, this is real. And that the ground actually went like this. It went, poof. And I was like, oh shit. So I couldn't get in my car. Forget about it. Couldn't move. I couldn't back out. I couldn't go forward. The lights aren't working. We're all out in the street. People standing on 4th Avenue, 5th Avenue, just looking down, trying to get a view, trying to get reports. And we find out that there was a second, this is deliberate. There's an attack on the World Trade Center. And the way they made it seem like that there was an attack. And they didn't say just the World Trade, it said attack. So, believe it or not, people just started running. Right. Everyone started running towards the nearest subway. People in tall buildings, people started running up buildings. People started going in stores. People were leaving their car, like you're driving your car, just getting out of the car and just leaving the car. I'm not, people just fuck the keys. Leave the car. Women, kids, grab the kids, running nowhere, running to subways. Police, like going to a cop, like, what's going on? I don't know. Stay in your car, go down to, and they were telling me, go to the subway. Just stay down, go to the subway. We're gonna know. Can't get across the bridge is closed down. Because they think the bridge is next. So all the bridges closed. Can't get out. Can't come in. Can't call home. Can't get news. So I'm there. So we just started walking to get closer. So I got as far as like 59th Street because I'm curious now. And I'm walking. By that time, there was a oh.
Oh my gosh.
It just went like, oh. I can't describe it. It just went. It's like the ground just went like this, and you heard the sound. Just said, oh. And then there was this. First, there was this wave, like, whew, came down Sixth Avenue, came, whew, and I, oh, and everybody was just like this. And then you saw people crying, just crying. I'm talking like just bawling. People, women down on the ground crying. Guys running into stores, storekeepers letting people come in because there was also no electricity in a lot of places. And the gas lines were cut off. So there's no gas, no electricity, there's nothing. People are crying, and we don't, what people don't know is when that building collapsed, papers came all the way up to like actual papers because the wind was blowing in. So papers came all the way up to like 86th Street. By this time now it's like 12:30. I can't call home. Can't move my car. Everyone's freaked out about where I'm at. Nobody can contact me. I was able to get in a call to see if one of my good friends, Derek, because he's a train operator and his wife's name's T. I knew I was able to call my ex-wife, and she went to pick up their kids at the school because that's another thing. In Long Island, where everybody worked, everybody went to the schools to get their kids. And that's another thing in New York. Once the subway stopped, people couldn't get their kids out of school. PS this, PS that, PS this. There was no evacuation of how to get the kids to their families. There are no trains running, no taxis, no buses, nothing. So if you were in school, you had to stay at the school. If you had a child in school, you had to figure a way how you were going to go from here to get your kid out of school. You can't call a school. There's no phone. You can't take a cab. There's cabs. There's nothing. Nothing is running downtown. Now, by that time, they're not letting anyone go near downtown. And that's where it was. Like, so I kind of just was like, this is crazy. This is crazy. And then at that point, the dust. The dust came. The dust came because the second tower, when it came down, it made more dust than the first. Well, I mean, the second tower actually came down first. Then the first tower came down, and when that happened, the dust was unbelievable. The smell took over. I like take a battery, and rub a battery together like this, and there's this. It's not acid. It's like this alkaline smell, and it's like metal in your mouth. And that's what I tasted for days. Metal in my mouth, metal in my nose, this metal kind of grinding, like if you were grinding metal, I had that in my nose. And I got home, I had to leave my car, walk, we got across, I didn't get home till about 8 o'clock.